I was going to make a video later on tonight. Don't worry, I still am. But I got to call out a certain cowardly punk who's still crying like a little bitch over his loss. Since he wants to act like a straight up woman about it, time to treat him like one. And no, I ain't going to do my introduction. I'm going to just get straight in your ass. So the wannabe highly intellectual retarded fuck on YouTube wants to talk about people waving the white flag in life because he ended up waving the white flag, all because he chose to run instead of stand his ground. In which he is so fucking dumb that he openly admitted to why he waved the white flag. Oh, I blocked this person. Yeah, I blocked this person because of this, that, and the third. No, tell the real reason why you decided to block. Because I proved your ass wrong. That's why you decided to block. You can't handle being wrong, which is why you decided to block. But here you are still crying, and here you are still CBCing, crying, bitching, and complaining about you waving the white flag. Don't you get it? Don't you get it? You want to be highly intellectual? You shouldn't have ran when you had to deal with the shit. And keep this in mind. It was you who tried to come over here to these male spaces with something to prove. Only to be the same one that has to block, run to your safe space in order to talk shit about people because you're too pussy to say that shit in front of their presence. And keep in mind, guess what? He's still not blocked over here. He's still not blocked over here. In fact, he's more than welcome to come over here. Because unlike him, I ain't doing no whole shit. I ain't gonna block people because they prove me wrong. So by the end of the day, who's really waving the white flag in life? Oh. Excuse me 1 second. Back to the question. Who's really waving the white flag in life? Oh, JD Miles will tell you who's really waving the white flag in life. The person waving the white flag in life is one that always want to go around pushing false narratives on other people. But when a false narrative is being pushed right back at him, he cries like a little bitch about it. Oh, but how about this? The one who's waving the white flag in life is the one that's not getting what he wants. He wants the manosphere to go. He wants Red Pill to go. He wants MGTOW to go. He wants these male spaces to go. And for the past 7 years, he's been trying and he's been failing. And the only thing he can do now is CBC. Cry, bitch, and complain because he's not getting what he wants. Oh, these male spaces ain't going nowhere. And yeah, fellas, stay tuned because the next video I'm about to drop is going to be an Amazon Prime example of that. Let us continue. Another case of a retarded fuck waving the white flag in life is the one who is so insecure, especially if they're so insecure in their own masculinity, that they got to put down other people, just to make themselves feel special. And for the record, no one on YouTube gives a fuck about about you paying property tax because because some of us, we pay property tax too. They don't give a fuck whether you from the city or you're a country bumpkin out in Texas. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck about your goddamn hay bales. Especially some of us who has investments in cattle and livestock. And by the way, cattle and livestock sells more than hay bales. Oh, he's supposed to be a country boy, so he's been supposed to figure that shit out. But then again, I'm from the country too. And yes, I'm a country boy who lives in the city, who has investments in cattle, who has investments in livestock. And I'm making more money off of that than you make money selling hay bales. No one gives a fuck how many times you quote John Henry Clark. I do not debate with anyone. I only debate with my equals. All others I teach. And mad respect to John Henry Clark. But the question everybody is asking here is, while you're kissing John Henry Clark's ass and being his fanboy, have you ever did a public debate in your life? Absolutely not. Yet here you are, constantly quoting John Henry Clark in all your videos as if you are on the same level as him, as if you share in the same victories he has. No, you're just a fanboy using John Henry Clark as a crutch to push a narrative, yet you are scared to debate your adversaries. And I'm just being upfront and real in that. So who's really waving the white flag in life here? Another example of that. No, stay with me here. Another example of a retarded fuck waving the white flag in life is the fact that look who's upset at the one getting chose while you have to beg people to put you on. And no, fellas, I shit y'all not. I got people calling and emailing me to be part of their programs or get their organizations established. This retarded fuck has to beg people to do interviews, have to beg people to put him on, but yet he wonders why nobody calls him back or they don't return his calls at all. Well, let me break that down for you. You want to know the reason why that's happening? First off, Mr. Biggs, or you think you're Mr. Biggs? First off, it is not you call them, they call you. Let me repeat that again. No. You don't call them, they call you. That's the reason why they're ignoring your shit. That's the reason why you're not getting chosen out here. And rather you coming off as being as begging more than being asked to be part of organizations. That shit don't work. And secondly, you got to show them that you have what it takes. You have what it takes to get chose. And no, going around claiming that you're a highly intellectual, I'm smarter than anyone else on YouTube, that shit don't work with them. And rather more importantly, they will take a look at your background. And by the look at your background, you are, as I told you before, you're too fucking difficult to work with. Especially how you treat others on your own fucking channel. You even lash out at the people that's showing you support. But people are supposed to take you seriously. Get the fuck out of here with that. No, seriously. Seriously, hit the dough. But you mad at everyone else getting chose over you. This is the reason why. This is the reason why you. This is the reason why he tries so hard to try to discredit other people. To try to discredit other people to make himself feel like he's on top. I don't have to do that shit. Other content creators don't have to do that shit. You have to discredit others. Which goes back to what I said. You are too insecure in your own masculinity. And yes, you would get chose too if he wasn't out here in these YouTube streets stressing the shit. Out here being argumentative. Out here full of complaints. And which leads to another reason why you're waving the white flag in life. All you do is complain. And yes, I've been off YouTube for the last 2 days. And what have we all been hearing? This retarded fuck constantly being full of complaints. He's complaining about, if he ain't complaining about the manosphere, red pill, MGTOW, and these male spaces, he's complaining about this. He's complaining about that. He's complaining about this over here. He's complaining about that over there. But guess what he's not doing? Coming up with solutions. But somehow, he's going around telling people that they have unresolved issues. Says the one sitting here complaining 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Complain. And he thinks people are going to work with his ass? Yeah, sure. But I say the absolute best for last. Hear me out here. The one who's waving the white flag in life is the one who always got to make excuses for why things don't work out for them. Why they're not getting what they want. Why things are not going their way. And instead of taking it out on other people, instead of blaming other people, he needs to blame his own goddamn self. And no, going around kissing other content creators' asses is not going to change that fact. Going around holding grudges against everybody, then wants to block when those same people respond to him is not going to change that fact. Going around being mad at people, trying to discredit them because they're doing a whole lot more than they're doing is not going to change that fact. Don't you see how this shit goes? Instead of being pissed off, mad at the whole entire world, how about you do some self-evaluation? Get off your high horse. Get off your high horse acting like you're the top dog, the top intellectual dog on YouTube, and humble your fucking self. Because at this point, we all can see you're doing more than us. You're doing way more than us. Most of it is not even necessary. But somehow you think that you're discrediting us and you slowing us down. No, you ain't. The only thing you're doing is hurting yourself. This is the reason why you can't get rid of the manosphere. This is the reason why you can't get rid of other groups. This is the reason why people can't get along with you. There's a reason why you're going after the people who support you. All the fucking problems you complain about, guess what? Don't sit here and pretend that you're not the biggest contribution. Now you be done whining and crying, all because you was waving the white flag because what you were doing? Blocking, right? Blocking anyone that was proving you wrong because you can't handle being wrong. Then guess what? You are waving the white flag, whether you want to accept it or not. You the one who blocked. You the one who backed out. You the one who ran when you had to deal with the shit. You ran and you kept on running. So don't get mad when people say you waved the white flag. You the one who quit. You the one who gave up. While the rest of us stood our ground. And that's all there is to it. And it doesn't matter how many videos you make whining and crying about it, the fact ain't gonna change. You lost. You waved the white flag. Deal with it. I'm out this bitch. Later.